Hi, just got back from doing some weed killing. Went to all the properties that my wife and I own, and I got to tell you, I think that is hands down is the greatest return on our dollar of ways that we can put equity in our pockets, the ways that we can actually increase our rentals. I mean, weed killer costs, I don't know. I mean, I buy it in bulk on Amazon, and it doesn't cost $2 to $3 every time I go out, and it doesn't take me 20 minutes. And what I do is I do the entire neighborhood. I go up and down the street. I do the yard of the properties. I do the alleys of the properties. And for that amount of money, the amount that I improve our properties is just, it's a very difficult thing for me to measure. For one thing, nuisance trees. And today, I used weed killer on every one of our property has a nuisance tree that's beginning to grow. I mean, they get to be, I don't know, about yay big within a very short amount of time, and they grow super quick. And it really doesn't take it 2 years to become a full grown tree trapped in your Philadelphia rental property backyard. And once it's there, cutting it down is just an incredible problem and an incredible expense. It's a landlocked area. Getting guys in there to be able to cut it down without damaging other houses, having to get it through a house. It just makes more sense to go in there, give it a couple squirts. The weed killer goes in through the leaves, kills it in a couple weeks, and you're done. You don't have to worry about the tree damaging your foundation, falling on your property, clogging your gutters, and then same thing in the alley. I go into the alleys and I kind of keep that free of weeds, which cuts down on any rodents, any wildlife that might become a problem. And then I go in front of the house, and I certainly do in front of our properties. I obviously hit our properties really well, which I think looks great. And then I go up and down the block, because when you're standing on our block, you can actually see, and actually I had a contractor who said that to me once. Actually, his name was Mike, and he's like, Joe, what do you see? And I'm like, I don't know, Mike, what? It's like, no, what do you see? And I'm like, I don't know, I see a street, what are you talking about? And it's like, what do you see? And I'm like, Mike, I don't know, what do you see? And then he finally tells me, he's like, look at all these weeds. And as soon as he said that, I just saw how horrible the neighborhood is where we own this, now a pretty successful rental property. But, I just see it. It just looked like a shaggy, uncared for neighborhood where just out of all the sidewalks, all the roads, everywhere a weed could grow, it was just giant bushes coming up. And it was just a state of neglect. I went out, and that's when I began, and went out, bought some weed killer, and it just instantly improved it, going up and down the block, killing the weeds for everybody. The neighbors see me do it. They come out and speak to me. It's a good way to get to know them. They appreciate the effort. If there's ever a problem with our rental properties, if there's ever a problem, with loud tenants or, any concerns about what we're doing, they know that we actually kind of take care of things for them. So the number one tip I think every rental property owner should do is I think they should either have somebody do weed killing for them, which really isn't that much of an expense because it's low cost to buy it. You're paying someone for an hour, not even an hour, 20 minutes of their time. And I think it just makes an incredible improvement, to your property, to your neighborhood, increases your equity, and it prevents incredible expenses that I've just seen have crippled owners. I just wish that more of my property owners, when we actually reach out to them and say, hey, we recommend spending the small amount of money to get rid of the weeds here and there around your property, not all of them always respond, but they absolutely should all respond. All right.